Hmm? Okay, so I think we're live now. Let me check. Yeah, okay, good. Uh, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna send a message in chat. Okay, yeah, so pretty much, this is my book. It's called Blood and Bones. Um, it's something I've been working on for a year or so now. There's nobody actually watching, I don't think, which is all right. Um, yeah, so I'm probably just gonna wait until we actually have a viewer or two. Oh, good, my mouse stopped working again. I love when that happens. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Come on, just there we go. Is it working again? No. Okay. Huh. Well, that's annoying. Come on. There we go. Wow. All right. Well, let's go. I guess I still have 0 viewers. If you do end up coming into the stream, yeah. Who am I talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. Oh well. Mm, I guess this stream will just be for me. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh yeah, I still have monitoring on. I should turn that off. I do not need to hear myself like that. Okay, cool. Hmm. Should I wait any longer for people to get here, or should I just go? Sure. What to do here with that? Um. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'll just start reading, and we'll see where we get. Let me just check here real quick on my phone. It's okay. We're not going to have very many viewers or really viewers at first. Oh, hey. Oh, there's one viewer. Cool. Yeah, please feel free to message in chat and, if you have questions or critiques or anything like that, please let me know. Now that there's actually somebody watching, I will start reading. So this is my new book. It's called Blood and Bones. It's sort of a high fantasy novel about three kingdoms, and certain characters obviously are the main characters. It's not necessarily just about the three kingdoms, but it does focus on a lot of aspects of the politics and stuff later on. But anyway, Singmaro, Shujar, Thakala, three vast and powerful kingdoms that stood on a continent which no longer exists. Each kingdom possessed unique holy arts, ancient even to them, and through these mystifying arts, their cultures and beliefs were wholly forged. These arts were said to have been the original blessing of God, and their power was believed to be limitless. In Scripture, these arts were known as devout thought, devout voice, and devout script, although now more commonly referred to as dreaming, chanting, and etching. Singmaro, life's great foundation, the land of blood and bones, defiled to some, but feared by all. This powerful kingdom encompasses 3 volcanoes, sweeping farmlands, dense forests, and is bordered by both mountains and an expansive ocean. Lush and fruitful, it holds the lion's share of power in the continent, and it's where our story begins. Just to be sure, I don't have a second monitor, so I can't see chat all the time. I guess I could probably make OBS kind of small and just put it here. Yeah, I could do that. I think I could do that. Yeah, right there. All right, please also let me know if you can hear the stream. I've been having some problems with audio the last couple times of like it not picking up my mic for whatever reason. Like it'll say that it's picking it up, but it doesn't. So let me just, there we go. Okay. Eventus 440, 16th of last leaf, evening. Mamalmalek, an unusually tall and lanky man with deep blue skin and no hair to speak of, carefully surveys the grand runic chamber as red-robed scribes work diligently, attending to each stroke of their brushes. The chamber itself is a massive dome made from a tortoise shell, in the center of which hangs an extravagant chandelier of bones, elegantly arranged into a blooming flower, and accented with a ring of skulls that burn with an eternal orange hue. The walls are lined with pillars formed with 3 rows of skulls stacked on top of one another. The outer rows all hold a single bone in their mouths, while the center row each hold 2 in a X. But most striking of all are the intact skeletons of monks who are still dressed in their robes and adornments, posed on recessed altars in between the pillars. As Malik was surveying his domain, a novice scribe raised her hand for assistance. Malik noticed and waved slightly in acknowledgement. The girl's light beige skin and black hair was typical of most Singmarowans, though her larger size and weight were unusual, since she was most certainly a commoner, same as all the members of his chamber. Now as he walked over, she began to grow nervous. His black robe with the blood silk embroidery and all the runic adornments, so much prestige, surely he would be unimpressed by her skills. Once he arrived, she hesitantly asked, "Is this correct, Great Pale One?" He leaned close to the page and meticulously examined every stroke of the rune. She could see his left eye was quite a bit larger in comparison, bulging outwards in a piercing gaze. "Almost, yes," he cheerfully exclaimed in his high yet raspy voice. "All you need to do is sharpen the curve on the 3rd stroke, and it's flawless." "Oh, Wow, thank you. It truly is a great honor. He actually liked it, she thought. Maybe she really had been improving. I know it's just a low-level rune, so... She muttered sheepishly. Low-level rune? Oh, no, no. These strokes and arrangements, while simple, are the building blocks of every other rune. Learning and perfecting them is key. That's why we practice them so much, even at an advanced level. So if you're doing this well with them already, then you shouldn't worry. Hanam, is it? You're new on my attendance list. Did you just start? No, Great One. I've been here 8 months, but I was just moved from one of Makwasana's chambers to yours a few days ago. Only 8 months. That's wonderful. She taught you well. Oh, and don't be so nervous around me. It'll ruin your line work. He jested with a kind smile and a small chuckle as he turned away to resume his class. But before he could, the large doors to the chamber swung open, and standing in its entrance was Sona, a woman with a commanding yet caring demeanor. Her gray hair was partially secured in a bun, while the rest draped elegantly along her shoulders. Wearing a black hanbok-style dress embroidered with blood silk, similar to Malik's robe, but with the addition of an extravagant red fur shawl that hung down her back. Sonala, excuse my interruption, Mamamalek, but the Emperor has begun a council and requested that you be in attendance. She spoke in a soft, yet urgent tone. Oh, I see. Something about that recent tension at the Shujarn border again? Yes, the rest of the council has already arrived, except for you, and we were wondering where you were. Well, I wasn't notified. Really? That's strange. Well, we better get going. They're getting impatient, huh? Why am I always the last to know about these things? He whispered to himself as he let out a sigh, before joyfully exclaiming, You lot keep going till I get back, and then drinks are on me. And the rest of the scribes returned a resounding cheer of excitement. However, suddenly, his tone grew more serious as he spoke again. But remember, students, tomorrow we practice with blades, not brushes, so be prepared. He then turned slowly and exited as the massive doors shut tight. Walking down several beautiful hallways, full of ancient tapestries and ornate bone sculptures, both artistic and historical, Sona turned to Malik and softly said, That girl reminds me of you, when you were young, you know. Oh yeah? In what way? He said with a faint curiosity. Well, she has very little confidence and feels like she doesn't belong here, and I seem to remember you being the same. I also seem to remember you being terrible with a blade. She jabbed with a slight smile and a laugh. Well, I wish I could say my confidence has improved as much as my blade skills, he returned in jest. From what I've seen, I think you're wrong about that, Malik. Oh, why's that? Because you're still terrible with a blade, she joked kindly. Yeah, maybe. You remember that time I stabbed myself in the leg? Oh, yes, that's right. Well, you don't do that anymore, so I guess you've improved at least a little, she said as they chuckled with nostalgia before she paused and began again. But in all seriousness, Malik, you are one of the greatest scribes that I or this kingdom have ever known, so I think you have the right to be confident. Though you still mustn't let yourself get enchanted by the opinions of others, good or bad. Know yourself. I'll try to keep that in mind, but thank you nonetheless, Makusana. The compliment means a lot coming from you. Ooh, honorifics. I haven't heard those from you in a long time, she smirked. Well, you were being so nice, so I thought I'd bring them back. Just this once. He snickered, then paused, as his expression turned to disappointment. I still can't believe they didn't even bother to get me for this meeting. I mean, come on. I'm the Shujaran ambassador, and there aren't too many people who would even bother to learn the other languages of the continent. The Emperor did send someone, so I wonder what happened. And I think I remember a bit of the Colin. Let's see. What was hello again? She said in a playfully ignorant way. Ha! I bet you couldn't remember it to save your life. Malik, you must never question the intelligence of your elders. Their egos are very easily bruised. She and Malik laughed deeply. As they approached the council room, Malik noticed Taymun, the prince of Sengmaro, leaning against the wall just outside the door. A young man with stunning blonde hair, a soft face, and a slim figure. He wears a royal green Cheongsam-style robe with blood silk runes and gold accents. Ah, at least he's here, Malik thought to himself, as he took a deep breath in and out. Tay always made him feel better. Now he could relax. But when Taymun noticed them, he ran over and hugged Malik tightly, exclaiming, "Oh, thank God you're here. Maybe you and Sona can talk some sense into them." "What's wrong?" Malik asked in a confused tone as his worry quickly returned. "Oh, see for yourself," he replied dejectedly, putting his hand on his forehead in frustration. As they entered the council room through the large doors made of deep amber wood, inlaid with gold, jade, and a large flower in the center made of ruby. Let me check chat and all that. Yay, still have one viewer. Thank you so much for sticking around. It really does mean a lot to me. And like I said, if I get a couple follows during this stream, then I'll read chapter 2 as well. So yeah, if you're interested, let me know. They saw the Emperor, sitting at the head of the table with a concerned look on his face, his chin resting on his clasped hands. His hair and beard are whitish gray, and his hanbok-style robe has the same color and accent as Taymun's. Though, rather than the prince's fitted sleeves and elegant gold cuffs, typically only worn by young, unmarried men, the Emperor's hung down past his waist, which was more typical of most nobility. His head is adorned by a stag skull crown, the horns of which spread out like two intricate crag trees with several branches both splaying outward, and his back is covered by a large cape of blindingly white feathers with black stripes and a variety of vibrantly colored tips, secured by 3 gold chains, all with disc-shaped runes in the middle. Jiwei Halpa roared as his rough face slouched into a scowl. "This is simply unacceptable. This instability is a danger to the state and to the peace of the kingdom. We all know it, my lord." His massive stature rivaled even Malik's in height, but he was significantly stockier, and his armor, crafted of leather and bones, made him look larger still. He wears an intimidating skull helm of a raptor-like creature known as a Kotsukai, or a blade walker, and a cape of brilliant orange feathers with black stripes and white tips, secured in the same manner as the Emperor's. "We must think carefully and act decisively. I can see the cracks of war in the oracle bone more so than ever before," Seirok Kuzon warned in that particularly foreboding manner only a grand mystic could master. An old and feeble-looking man with liver spots on his head. He shakes subtly, yet incessantly, and wears a blue and black robe with blood silk, the skull helm of an owl, and a cape of black feathers with blue and red tips. "Exactly. If we really wanted to be decisive, then we would use this time to take more land away from those loudmouth barbarians. It's not like they don't deserve it," barked Yang Wanzhou, a young noblewoman who wears an ornate red dress with gold accents. And, oh, that should be not unbeautiful. And a beautiful black fur shawl. Her face is sharp and beautiful. Her long black hair is secured in a low hanging bun by a gold binyo. For reference, a binyo is that sort of stick that they traditionally put in their hair as a pin in East Asian countries. Malik then interjected calmly, even though he was becoming annoyed. Excuse me, but what's going on? Well, what's this all about? Did something serious happen at the border?" The Emperor looked at Malik stern as a stone and said, "Ah, Malik, you did bother to show. You're quite late." Young Wanzhou scoffed. And when he does show up, he can't even have the decency to be prepared. Pitiful." "I'm so sorry, everyone. I wasn't notified of the meeting," Malik replied apologetically. Yes. Just have a seat," the Emperor asked dismissively. "See, sister, this is the danger in letting people act above their place in this world. You just end up with a mess." young Donjo added in an equally snarky fashion. His cheongsam was shimmering gold with red accents and blood silk embroidery. His hair was slicked up in a stylish high bun, though his face and body were very average, especially for someone so rich. "Stop that!" Taemoon commanded sternly. But they didn't, as Wonjo continued to scold him. Well, Malik has always made that fact abundantly clear, hasn't he? As the familiar feeling of this kind of treatment began to set in, Malik stood strong, not letting his composure break. Donjo then leaned back in his chair flamboyantly and remarked with spite, "Yes, indeed, and if he's all we have, then I hate to say it, but we're doomed. They'll probably all grab pitchforks the moment he arrives." "Enough! As prince, I order you to stop!" he roared assertively. The Emperor continued Taemoon's sentiment as he stared daggers at the two siblings. "My son is right. You will not show this kind of disrespect toward your fellow council members, and it will not be tolerated any longer." As the Emperor's scolding words hit their ears, their attitudes changed immediately, becoming meek and apologetic. Sorry, my lord, it won't happen again," Wonjo apologized, clearly intimidated by the Emperor's heavy gaze. Yes, our apologies, my lord," Donjo said as he gulped and attempted to look anywhere but at the Emperor. "I'm sorry as well, my lord. I truly wasn't notified." Malik apologized as well, before slightly bowing out of respect. Let me just refresh here. Yay. My one viewer is still here. Woohoo! Thank you so much. Hold on, I need a drink. All these voices and all the reading is drying my throat out. Maybe water would be better than pop. Yeah. It's no matter. This is a pitifully trivial thing to be focusing on at this moment anyway. So yes, something did happen. As you already know, Malik, there was an avalanche on 2 towns, on either side of the border, near Mount Sotsu, and our people blamed the Shujarans. Yes, I remember, my lord. Well, communications got heated, and when they finally fell through, our people in Nampyo retaliated by crossing the border to Farsha, vandalizing one of their prayer bells and tipping over a chanting cauldron. The Shujarans then returned the favor by burning down one of our runic chambers, which then spread to several houses and shops as well, so you can see why tensions are high. However, after that, we've heard very little and assumed it had been dealt with. But recently, rune stones to Nampyo have stopped working across the kingdom. We believe that the Shujarans broke it in another attempt to stoke the flames. And it clearly worked, because now I can't go 2 minutes without hearing about war, the Emperor said exhaustively, as he then took a deep breath and sighed. Malik began in a reassuring tone. "Then what we need is diplomacy, not more conflict. We should go there and talk to them ourselves. Then maybe we can work out a solution before it's too late," Sona replied with concern. "I agree with Malik, my lord. We're merely a few generations past the Great War. It would be a tragedy for peace to be so short-lived." The Emperor replied while nodding. "I agree. It would be foolish to destroy something our 5 families spent generations to achieve. But I hope that outcome is still under our control." Halpa then politely interjected. "Well, what if the prince were to marry that Shujaran princess he was arranged with? That would fix relations, wouldn't it? It worked before." The Emperor responded with slight sternness. "No, we will not speak of that at this moment. I don't need more disorder in this council. Besides, that would take too long, and it may just infuriate them further. What do you think, Madarin? You've been silent this whole time, and as Grand Protector, I wish to hear your thoughts before we continue." The Emperor's tone softened as he turned and addressed his trusted Great Protector. Madarin, a man with dazzling blue eyes and a soft, calming face that often showed very little expression, dressed in a white robe with blood silk embroidery and similar adornments to the others. However, his cuffs were fitted like the prince's. Long brown hair draped far down his back in a loose and low ponytail. Unusually, his hands glow with runes that have been carved into his flesh, but he wears no cape or skull helm. Well, he began slowly as he sat up from reclining. The way I see it, there's really nothing to worry about, because if there is a war, we'll crush them, and if not, our supremacy remains unchallenged. However, for the moment, I like the sound of Mamalek's plan, and I have no doubt that he and I can bring this to a peaceful conclusion, he said in the same calm and even tone he always seemed to speak in. Fine, then it's settled. Madarin, you and Malak will go to the border and try to ease the tensions there. You can heal the wounded while Malak deals with the officials. I want you both to leave at daybreak tomorrow, the Emperor exclaimed as he now felt a faint relief. As you wish, my lord, Madarin said humbly. Yes, as you wish, my lord, Malak added for posterity. Good. Now, let's put all this talk of war aside and eat, the Emperor said emphatically. Soon after the Emperor spoke, a parade of people in brown robes came in with large plates, full of various dishes, stuffed with meat, vegetables, noodles, and rice, as well as large pots of soup filled to the brim with even more of the same. The aroma began to fill the room, and everyone became hungrier by the moment, brandishing their chopsticks like spears. Oh man, if there's one thing I like more than military strategy, it's food, Halpa grinned with the excitement of a child. Yes, that's obvious, Halpa, Kuzon said, snickering, as Wanjo and Donjo followed. Huh, says you, old man. You need more food than anyone. You're practically the living dead, Halpa retorted with a joking smirk. When you're as old as I am, boy, you're bound to be closer to the dead than the living, Kuzon chuckled before coughing slightly. I'd say you're about as close as they get, Sona began to jest before one of the servers suddenly slipped, spilling a huge pot of soup and an assortment of dishes all over the table and floor, as well as on Wanjo and Donjo, covering them in broth and noodles, many even getting into their hair. Madarin remained completely calm, saying nothing, though his face was now painted with a partial but delighted grin as he watched the scene unfold. Everyone else, however, especially the offending servant, were filled with shock, gasping all at once before Wanjo let out a screeching wail, and simultaneously Halpa exclaimed, Holy hell! As he sat up quickly to avoid the mess. Phew! Well, at least I was far enough away not to get splashed. What the hell were you thinking? Halpa said accusatively to the servant. Kuzon, added, rising as quickly as he could from his seat. Yes, I'm fine too, but please be more careful next time, my child. A surprise like that is poison for an old man's heart, he said, chuckling slightly, though gripping his chest, clearly in some discomfort. Yay. If you hear some meowing in the background, that's just my cat. He's in for the winter and he's not super happy about it. But like there are coyotes outside, so I am not letting him outside. Me and my aunt even saw one when we were driving out last night. It was weird. They usually don't come this far into the city, but I guess they do now. I wouldn't have thought they would anyway. So, where was I? Sorry about that. Well, isn't that wonderful for you two? But my dress is ruined, so I don't care what they were doing. Hang them, burn them now! Wanjo exclaimed sharply, proceeding to smash her hands on the table in rhythm, before grabbing the table as if attempting to crush it. I'm so sorry, please. I just slipped. I'm sorry, please don't kill me. The servant frantically pleaded, continuing to panic as dread set in, seeing the guard's attention peak from Wanjo's order. No, are you insane? The prince shouted as he and Malak ran over to help the servant, while the other servants frantically attempted to clean up the mess. She must have lost her mind if she thinks this is an appropriate response. Why must you always be so childish? Sona yelled angrily. Are you okay? Malak asked the servant as he realized that the girl under the hood was Hanam, the same girl he was just teaching earlier. No, you can't let them, please. She began to stammer and hyperventilate, grabbing desperately at Malik's robe for safety and support as her legs began to give out beneath her from sheer terror. "You're not going to die. You'll be fine. Just stay calm," he said to her in a soft, reassuring voice, repeating it several times so as to comfort her further. "Childish! I'm mature enough to know that actions must have consequences, and this dress was one of a kind. It's worth more than the lives of 10 peasants, let alone one, so she'll pay with gold or pay with her life," Wanjo exploded. "You will all stop this instant!" The Emperor then suddenly slammed his hands down on the table so hard it shook, shouting forcefully at what seemed to be the peak of his anger. "The girl will get 30 lashings as punishment and nothing more, and you two will go wash yourselves off while the rest of us get to eating. That is an order." Wanjo and her brother, now terrified as well as drenched, nervously stumbled out of their chairs and exited the room, dripping broth and noodles all over, scampering away to get cleaned up. Malik, fearing for the girl's safety, pleaded. "My lord, she's just a young girl. You're being too harsh. I beg you not to punish her." "That was my final command, Malik. There is nothing more to speak of unless you want to be lashed as well," he stated sternly. "Father, you're being unreasonable," Taymun began to say before the Emperor interrupted and snarled. "Stay out of this, son. This is no longer a discussion, and I will not have my authority so readily disregarded in this court. And don't think I won't punish you as well." Malik then challenged him with conviction. "Fine. Then give me 60 lashes, enough for the both of us, and let the girl free." The remaining council was taken aback by Malik's words, especially Taymun. The Emperor began to get visibly enraged, and the tension in the room was as thick as the heat of the hottest Singmarwan summer day. The Emperor took in a deep breath, his face red as beets, as he tried to calm himself, and then slowly but forcefully exhaled before exclaiming, "Fine! Have it your way, Malik. She will be spared, and you will be punished when you return from the border, so as not to hinder this mission." The Emperor's temper was now cold as stone. 60 lashes? Malik, that will kill you," Taymun protested, concerned for his partner. "Father, don't do this. He was only trying to help." "Malik must live by his actions. You can't always be there to protect him, my son." "I'm not. I'm only trying to say that..." Taymun tried explaining before Malik came over, putting his hand on Taymun's shoulder and said, "It's okay. I'll be fine. Trust me." "If I may, my lord, Taymun is right. All of this over a pot of soup? This is far too harsh," Sana interjected, attempting to mediate. "That has nothing to do with it. This is about blatant disregard for my authority, and as Emperor, my decision is final, and you will all leave at once," he barked. Everyone jumped, stunned for a moment by the Emperor's rage, before quickly exiting the council room, out into the large castle halls, the ceiling of which was incredibly high, and embedded in them was the spinal column and ribs of what appeared to be a large snake. As they exited, Halpa asked Kuzone, "Do you think we can take some of that food with us? I'm dying here," Halpa said in a semi-joking manner. "You'll be dead if you don't shut up," Kuzone added. "You're right. Hong would probably tear me in two if I asked that, wouldn't he? I guess I'm so hungry my stomach was thinking for me," he chuckled. "Then your stomach is an idiot," Madarin jested as they walked down the corridor to their respective chambers. Taymun turned to Malik as they continued down the hallway, and asked quietly, "Do you still remember that secret passage to the roof? The one we found when we were kids?" "You know I do," Malik replied with gleeful excitement. "Let's go up there, okay? I need to just get away from all this for a while." "That sounds great," he cheered, brimming with nostalgia. They then broke off from the rest of the group, and after turning a few corners, found a hallway just like any other. Then Taymun grabbed the skull of one of the sculptures and twisted it upside down, after which a large mechanical noise was heard, but nothing seemed different until they lifted one of the tapestries to reveal the wall was no longer there and led to a large stone staircase. "Come on, quickly," Taymun said with nervous glee. "Oh, it's been so long since we done this, it makes me feel like a kid again," Malik exclaimed, mirroring Taymun's excitement. After following the lengthy and narrow staircase for quite some time, they reached a lever. Once pulled, it opened to reveal the castle roof and a beautiful, expansive view of the city. Wow, it's so beautiful. I forgot just how great this view is. Look, you can see the city outskirts, Goji Volcano, and the shore all from here, Malik said with exuberance. Taymun, however, just stared at Malik, happy to see his partner so content, even if his mind couldn't rest. They sat down on the roof, and Taymun put his arm around Malik and gave him a kiss on his cheek, after which Malik rested his head on Taymun's lap. Taymun began to stroke his shoulder lovingly as they looked out on the stunning crimson sunset, the light shimmering and dancing along the cool blue waters of the ocean. Malik, I promise you that once I'm emperor, things will change. Things will be better for everyone, he said, looking longingly into the distance. You sound just like when we were young, Malik said sweetly, remembering how kind Taymun had always been to him. That's because my view hasn't changed. I still want us to make this a place we can truly be proud of. Somewhere we can thrive, not just survive. A place where people can forge their own place in the world instead of being given it. A place where people aren't punished for compassion like you're being right now, and one where I'm not helpless to stop it, he said softly while beginning to well with emotion as the waves crashed against the shore. Malik could feel Taymun's grip getting tighter and could tell he was holding back tears. Things will change. I know they will. And we'll make a place where no one has to feel helpless, Malik said, trying to comfort his sweetheart. I know we will. Together, Taymun said happily, wiping tears from his eyes. Sorry, I hope I'm not ruining the moment by bringing up so much. The meeting today just made me really upset, he explained apologetically. No, it's okay. I like when you talk like that. It makes me feel like maybe things really will get better one day, Malik said as he snuggled his head deeper into Taymun's lap. So what else are we gonna do? I mean, I already know, but I want to hear you say it again, Malik said with a playful hope in his voice. Well, first we're going to free all the slaves. Then we're going to institute national welfare and health care so that we can help our people when they need us most, like a country's leaders should. We're going to build schools, not just for the rich, but for everyone, where they can learn to read, write, and even do basic arithmetic, all free of charge. That sounds wonderful, Malik said with his heart hopeful again as he continued jokingly. Though I doubt people will be happy to do the math. I know I never was. You're right. They probably won't. But they'll have the opportunity to choose that for themselves. And that's what matters. That's what's most important to me. If only my father felt the same. But he hasn't changed. And he never will. He still thinks people have their place. And that's it. Man, my cat is getting really loud. I don't know if you can hear that, but he's like really sad. He's like, it's, God damn. Sweetie, it's okay. Yes, it is. It really is. Okay. Sorry about that. You're right. They probably won't, but they'll have the opportunity to choose that for themselves, and that's what's most important to me. If only my father felt the same. But he hasn't changed, and he never will. He still thinks people have their place, and that's it. Oh yeah, what did he always used to tell you when we were kids? Which one? My father has quite a few dumb sayings. That one about how people are dirt or something? Malik said, laughing slightly at the outlandishness of the statement. Oh, that one. Yeah, it went like this. Taymun composed himself and began in a mocking tone and manner of his father, sweeping his arm out as if to reveal a great truth. You see, my son, everything in the world is a beautiful and important part of a great cycle. But for that cycle to work properly, everything must have its place. So just as the tree is not overtaken by the soil that nourishes it, the commoner must never rise to the branches of nobility. Taymoon said as they both laughed at the mockery and the absurdity. That impression really is spot on, you know, Malik said while continuing to chuckle. Yours would be too if you were told that almost every other day, Taymoon remarked, laughing along with Malik. Then, as they continued to laugh, suddenly a giant pterosaur flew into view as it headed to the coast and out into the ocean. Its massive white wings were accented with gray stripes and multicolored tips, its wingspan spreading 65 feet in length with an extravagant red crest atop its head, close to its long and slender beak. Behind it were several of its chicks, which, while significantly smaller, were still much larger than any person. Whoa, that's our Quenya, Ocean Drifter. Is huge, remarked Taymoon with fascination. That's probably the biggest one I've ever seen. Do you think it came all the way from the Thakalan coast over Cartha Ridge? Malik wondered. Probably. I can't believe they fly that far. You know, I've heard they don't even have to rest once during the whole trip. Isn't that crazy? Damn, that is really impressive. Could you imagine riding one? Malik added. I know, right? You could fit everyone in the castle on it and just sail for days. Yeah, and who knows? If they fly that far, I bet they visit distant lands that we've never even heard of. Malik pondered in wonder. That would be amazing. It's hard to believe that we've never found anyone else in that huge blue void, no matter how far we sail, Taymoon remarked. Maybe the legends are true, and the continent of Anna really is the only land in the whole world, Malik postured with slight disbelief. If it is, then that's only more reason to protect it and to make it paradise, Taymoon stated as they both stared off into the enormous expanse of land, sea, and air with hope in their eyes. I love you so much, Tay. I love you too, Malik, Taymoon replied, as love welled up from the very center of their hearts, and then lovingly they embraced for a kiss, and then another, and another. Wrapped in each other's arms, their fears melted away, and only peace remained, as the crimson sun sank further and further into the endless ocean. End of chapter 1. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We didn't get any followers or anything this time, so I don't know if I should read the second chapter. If you type in chat that you really want to hear chapter 2, then I will read it, even if you don't follow. But it would be really nice if you follow. I'm a variety streamer, so sometimes I'll be doing writing stuff or playing games or even I play guitar, so I might try to do some guitar streams if I can set it up properly. So yeah. Yeah. I will wait a few moments for a response. If I don't get one, I'll probably just end the stream here. But I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it. The book will probably come out next year, maybe in the next couple years. I'm kind of a slow writer, and I have a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. Also, like, work and family and stuff like that. So I don't get as much time to write as I'd like. But yeah, next year or two, this book will be out, and I haven't started anything for support like a Patreon or anything like that. But I was thinking of maybe doing it if I could drum up enough interest in the book. But mostly I really enjoy writing it. Yeah. So if you have any questions about the book or the world or for me, then I'd be happy to answer them. If not, then yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Well, let me see. Anything in chat? No, not that I can see. Hmm. Okay. Well, I will be doing this again. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Since I don't see anything in chat, um, asking me to continue or any questions or anything, so I think I'll leave it there. And, yeah, I hope you have a great night. Thanks for watching. And this is Yunsky signing out. Bye.